What's cracking with you people? Anansi here and welcome back to Sudeki. In the last one, we finished making our way through to New Brightwater in order to make sure that the princess is okay. On the way, we got a fancy new armor, a cool new blade, and the ability to summon one of Tetsu's champions, Karastan, to deliver a devastating blow against our enemies whenever we have A, enough power to do so, and B, feel the need to do so. In this one, we're going to finish making our way to New Brightwater by entering the village itself and leaving the Shidani encampment on this hill, passing under this cherry blossom tree, because of course we do. New Brightwater. This small coastal village once had a history of smuggling, but under Queen Lucifer's rule, the village has prospered and smuggling is a thing of the past. Since the start of the attacks, the villagers have relied upon the protection of the humans and got armies. They have taken in refugees from the countryside, even those fleeing Shidani Mo, as we saw up on the hill there. And I have to say, try visiting blacksmiths in towns. Blacksmiths can upgrade weapons and armor. And I have to say, this has by far one of the most relaxing pieces of music I've ever heard in a game. In the meantime, let's take the game up on that advice and go talk to the blacksmith for the first time.
Alright kid, Gobbit's the name. Professional blacksmith to the rich and famous.
Okay, what sort of work do you do?
I keep the traditions of magical engraving alive. I can improve tenfold any weapon you have. I can't be beat on quality.
Interesting. Well, in that case, I'd like to have an item enchanted. At the very least, take a look. So, as you can see, Tao's shadow armor, I didn't point this out previously, but Tao's basic armor only had one circle slot. Now it has two. And currently we have the ability to upgrade an anti-venom, well, if you have the money for it, which would grant resistance to poison effects such as spiders bite or scorpion sting. Anti-evil, which grants armor immunity to weaken and curse status effects. And hexproof, which grants armor immunity to the slow status effect. Basically, these effects, these resistant effects are pretty much a way of nullifying buffs and nullifying debuffs. Then we have a damage field, which causes melee attackers to suffer damage every time they hit armor protected with this rune. This is actually a pretty good armor skill that I do recommend, but not right now, as we do get more skills later. But I will recommend this. I will recommend this up front. It actually is a pretty good skill to have, especially since, as you saw in some of the previous battles, that you can easily get overwhelmed by enemies. Now we go to our Recruit's Blade and our Mojo. You see that we have a select number of runes in the bottom, squares and circles. So to give you a heads up, I'm just going to show this off now. This is why I didn't want to do any enchanting up front. You have your Razor Edged, which is a small base damage increase. It's basically your basic damage modifier weapon, modifier enhancer. Then you get your Heart Seeker, which increases your critical chance by 5%. And you can place multiple copies of these runes on them, of these two anyway, but let's get on to this one. Bat Fang increases PC's HP by 10% of the damage inflicted on an enemy. Once again, you can place multiple numbers of this on a weapon to increase its effectiveness. Then you have Spirit Bite. Increases your player character's SP by 1% of the damage inflicted on an enemy. You can place multiple copies of this rune on a weapon. Get your Mana Spark, which provides 25% chance of dispelling an enemy's beneficial magic with each strike. So you have a 1 in 4 chance of dispelling a buff with certain attacks. So I'm gonna give you a heads up right now. Your squares, as insulting as that sounds, are your basic increases. But the circle runes, as you can see, are double the effectiveness. Now, I'm going to show you something you can do to pretty much break this game in half. Okay? So, if you wanted to, you can set this game up to play like a Tales of series. If you don't know anything about Tales of, I'm going to go off Tales of Spirit here. You have a similar setup to this. You have your health and your spirit points. Once your spirit points run out in this game, you have to use a skill valve, a skill replacement to, get it back. But with this ability, if you play this just right, you can use this. You can use this particular setup to effectively play this game like a Tales of game, or rig it to help you out. Now I'm gonna do this right here. Wait a minute, let me double check this real quick. Actually, checking my money here. I'm gonna hold off on this for a second. I thought I'd have more, but my drops have not been so consistent this time as they have with previous playthroughs. So in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and just try to finish the main quest we have here. Just kind of ask around a bit.
I'm glad I'm stationed here. The Aclarians rarely attack Brightwater, but they swarm around Illumina.
Interesting. What's you, lady in red?
Greetings. I am Saison Miko. Oh, it is pleasant to meet some new faces.
Oh, she seems nice. Charmed to meet you.
I hope you stay at the Salty Dog Inn for a few days. The landlord there is very friendly.
Interesting. What are you doing?
I have some things to buy before we prepare supper at the inn. All the local seamen swear by the salty sea dog stew. Trouble is, that duck in the shop keeps up in the prices.
Ah, you mean Camo. Yeah, very shrewd, that one. What can you tell me about this town?
Dempsey has a daughter who lives in the castle. Apparently, she has brought the princess herself here.
Goodbye. Now you may be thinking, Anansi, why would you say Camo? There's a duck on it. Maybe all ducks are merchants. Not really. It's just the one duck.
Welcome to Camo's.
And he has different lines for each shop he goes to. Don't you have a shop in Illumina too?
I got shops all over the known universe, pal. I got a distinct advantage, see? I got an anthropomorphic navigation stone, which lets me travel through time and space as easy as heading south for the winter. It's supposed to be used for some spiritual mumbo-jumbo, but I saw the potential for making money with it.
A spiritual navigation stone, huh? And you took this ancient holy relic and privatized it. Capitalism at its finest, people. Or a subtle commentary on religion. I'll let you decide. Let the shop. He has nothing new. And as I recommended beforehand, do not sell a dang thing to this guy. You are getting ripped off every time.
Gee, thanks. Last of the big spenders.
And he does say something every time you shop at his establishment and don't buy anything. Or if you do buy something, he says something that sounds pretty grateful. Or he'll say, "Hey, spend some more." Essentially like you didn't give me enough money. But he learns from Miko over here. Apparently, Dempsey, the woman that Ailish and I believe, I'm sorry, her name escapes me now, but they came to visit her. Apparently, she lives in the castle. So the fact that she got Princess Ailish to agree to visit her mother tells you that the two must be pretty close despite what we saw in the opening cutscene of Ailish being pretty snooty. What do you gotta say?
Hey there, Squire Reddish at your service.
Squire, what do you do?
Well, I'm sort of unemployed. I used to work in the castle, but I hated the stress of city life.
City, dude, there's only like a courtyard and that's about it. You don't look like you come from around here.
I came from Illumina originally, but I've settled into country life. The calm, quiet days suit me.
Okay. What do you know about Anthropomorphs?
Well, they're nice enough. Just a bit different. They keep to themselves mostly. I hear they're having all sorts of trouble in Shadanimo.
You know, as often as they mention Sudanimo, I feel like we're going to be heading there pretty soon. Anyway, we were told to go to the big blue house in the center of the town. This should be Densi's place. Let's take a look.
Hello. Is Princess Ailish here? I'm to escort her home.
The princess? Oh, good luck. She's in such a contrary mood. She stormed off to the lighthouse almost as soon as we arrived.
Okay, so maybe Ailish doesn't care to visit Yumi's mother. Hello, miss. You see Densi?
Welcome, friend. I am Densi.
Okay. How is the village life?
Oh, mustn't grumble. The local shop has changed hands, though. Oh, it's very expensive now. And Kamo, the new owner, is the rudest little duck I've ever met.
Tell me about it. Are Yumi and Ailish staying here?
Yemi is my daughter, so she's always welcome. I suppose the princess is too. Oh,
She's a bushy little madam. Sound cut out there. Let's see if I can get that back.
Yemi is my daughter, so she's always welcome. I suppose the princess is too. Oh, but she's a pushy little madam.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll admit, every now and then, some sound bites will cut out. I mentioned in the previous one that in the previous part, either an unused take or in a used take. I remember that, you know, my original Xbox is getting kind of up during years, so it won't play certain sound bits, well, won't load certain things accurately. But I do remember that in the original game, sometimes sound bits just wouldn't load in properly or transition well. Where can I sell some pelts?
Find a traveling fur trader, Jurgen. A strange little man with a strong accent. He'll give better prices than Kamo.
Which is pretty much what I tell you. Even the game itself says, yeah, don't waste your time with this character. We essentially designed him to be an obnoxious little prick. Sell to anybody else. Now, yeah, I want to say something about the, oh yeah, now, I don't want you guys to get the impression that the Xbox itself can't handle loading this game. As a matter of fact, it actually can. The main issue is that the way Sudeki handles itself, even though you see the loading times here, it actually handles itself closer to how modern consoles handle themselves nowadays. In the sense that it will load up a large chunk of the game beforehand. That's why when you boot it up the first time on the Xbox, you will see this massive loading screen that will tell you things about the game that does spoil what's going to happen, or certain abilities that certain characters have. It does spoil it. So that's why I said I'm going to cut past it. But what I forgot is that the in-game load times are pretty fast, because it's really just loading up the individual areas. But what the game is doing beforehand is front-loading all of its data. So that's what I mean by a little bit different. And now, the thing to keep in mind about this is that even though we'll get to that. Let's go ahead and go ahead and find the princess. They said she was here at the Lighthouse, right? Brightwater Lighthouse. Hey there, sailor. How you doing? See the princess around here?
Hello there! Jim's the name! What blows you into town?
I'm looking for a friend.
Well, you won't find one here. We keep ourselves to ourselves.
Sounds a bit rude, contrary to your optimistic tone of voice. I'll bet there's a good view from the lighthouse.
You can see a lot from the top, but the truth is, I get vertigo, so I don't go up there unless I have to. I'm still waiting for the supply ship to sail into port. Hope she hasn't run aground again.
Well, that would be upsetting. I must get on. Now, where are... Oh, there she is. Literally walked right past her.
Excuse me, Your Highness?
Oh, hello. General Arlo's son, Tal, right? Call me Ailish.
Yes, Your Highness. Thank goodness you're safe. I've been sent to escort you home. There was some trouble with the Eclorians near here, and...
Let's go then. I never wanted to come to this dreary little town in the first place. Besides, I promised Elko I'd see his crystal tower light up. You know Elko?
Chief Science Officer Elko? Yes, Your Highness. Elko really helped me settle in when I first moved to Illumina.
I thought I told you to call me Ailish. Now, let's leave before we become all... provincial.
Yes, I mean, Ailish.
Never mind, Ailish didn't care to come up one bit. Also, you gotta love the camera angles employed around here. Now, with Ailish, let's go ahead and head into the lighthouse real fast. I want to take a look at some things, but yeah, I was going on beforehand. Oh, by the way, when I said every character has their own animations for opening up... Wait, did I actually mention that in this take? Maybe I didn't. Well, but going forward, every character you get has their own animations for opening up the chest and breaking interactable objects in the world that every character can manipulate equally, not their own character-specific moves. So like how Tal will just go down on a chest and just rip the lid open with both hands. Ailish does this. She uses magic. So, that pretty much gives you an idea of who she's going to be for gameplay-wise. You found a Stardust Vial. Nicely done. Can't really go any further in here, but yeah, it's going on there. But yeah, what Sudeki does, since it frontlets all his data, it does act essentially like a modern-day console to minimize load times. And this came out along with the PlayStation and GameCube. I think in order, it was the can't move around, just kind of there. In order, it was the Xbox, PlayStation, and GameCube from most powerful to least powerful. But the PlayStation 2 sold the best of the three consoles. Excuse me. And, you know, that's up for anyone else's debate. I don't frankly care because I played every single one growing up. So as long as I had good games, I did not care. Now, what do you have to say, sir?
Did you hear another ship sank just down the coast and valuable cargoes have ended up on the beach?
Well, that's unfortunate. What sort of cargo?
Ironically, the ship was delivering the new crystal light bulb for my lighthouse. It was rumored to have many expensive items on board.
Okay. I could try and find your boat for you.
Well, I'd be very grateful. I should think half the town would be waiting for goods too, so it might be worth asking around for things to look out for.
Yeah, that gives us a new quest. Can you claim treasure washed up on the beach?
Oh, yes, indeed. You should search the beach outside the village and see what you can find. The law of the sea means it's finders keepers.
Goodbye. So this gives us our first set of side quests. I know we had the little urchins in the earlier things. Oh, by the way, you can change character to the black and white button. Basically, the two buttons on the Xbox controller that are just below the A, B, X, and Y, your action buttons. You hit the black button. I think it scrolls up on the character roster. You hit the white button, it scrolls down. So it goes from the white button gives you the character at the top of the screen, at the top of the list, while the black button gets you the character at the bottom. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you a trick with Ailish. Well, we'll hold off on that one for a second, because they actually go through this a little bit later. So, what we're going to do now is going to go around town and try to, you know, get some side quests going. But first, let's go check on Yemi. Huh, Yemi's not here. Let's go talk to Denzi then.
Welcome, friend. I am Denzi.
Yeah, not much changes. So, one of the things that I will knock points off for Sudeki, even though I do love his world and atmosphere, it doesn't do the Obsidian thing like I compared it to in the last game, where... what's the word here? Where they'll at least give different dialogue choices for different chambers and different characters and different events. This game, not so much. They only do it in very specific cases. Anyway, let's talk to this little girl here.
No! Life is so unfair to little Remy.
I'll say, look at your character model. What's the matter?
I had a special trinket my father gave me, but that new animal kid tricked me into giving it away. He's rotten.
If it's a trinket your father gave you, why would you ever part with it? Where are your parents?
They don't live here. I'm on holiday. I'm visiting my Uncle Merthyr, but he spends all day fishing. It's very boring.
Oh, okay. We'll leave it alone for right now. So let's go talk to this animal kid, the only animal kid we've seen in the entire village.
Oh, look at you. Think you're tough, don't you? I bet you never killed anything really hard.
He says this after we just got done beating an ogre to death with basically a giant metal sword, but still, we did that 1v1. Just saying. I'm an experienced warrior and hunter.
Look, if you get me a Brightwater pearl, then I'll believe you are a warrior worthy of respect. Yeah.
It's a new quest. Careful, I'll have to teach you some manners.
You couldn't teach me anything I need to know.
Okay, well, there you go. So, I'm gonna let you know right now, you do have your run-of-the-mill collection quests in Sudeki, and they can get egregious. Which I will get into in a second. We're gonna finish this part up by getting pretty much all... Actually, Snapshot from this one breaks it open. By getting all of the side quests we can for right now, and then going from there. Let's talk to this guy.
Hello there. A fine morning for sailing.
Indeed it is. Are you going out today?
Not today. It's going to take me some time to repair my boats after the last storm. This one is almost done, but the boat over on the other side of the bay is going to be a real challenge.
Yeah, the one that's split in half. I guess he's not the one. There should be another character around here. Oh, right. You have to go to the docks. I forgot about that. I forgot that they conveniently place pretty much all of the characters who need something from that boat on the dock.
If you're ever around the beach, will you see if you can find my Parrot Feather? I ordered the rare Parrot Feather from across the water, but I think it sank with the cargo ship. I want to make a fishing flyer with it.
Alright, there you go. Go talk to this man right here.
I've been waiting and waiting for this special fishing bait to arrive. I hope it didn't get lost in that cargo ship that sank to a watery grave. If you see any special fishing bait washed up on the beach, bring it straight to me.
Alright, here's another one.
Oi, you! I know you think I'm a grumpy wee so-and-so, but I am trying to be more tolerant. I even ordered a self-help book, but it sank along with that useless cargo ship. That really gets on my goat, that. If you see a book washed up on the shore, it's mine, right?
Forgot to talk to this guy beforehand, but he can't come up as a surly sort of sort. So yeah, I think we got one more, and that'll do it for all of New Brightwater.
Have you heard about the ship that sank the other night? The entire cargo was lost. I am particularly upset, as I was waiting on a party invitation that the ship was due to deliver. If you see an invite washed up on the shore, pick it up for me.
Can do. So
Have you found that invite yet?
yeah, I should have talked to him beforehand, but he comes off pretty grumpy if you do so beforehand. I also find it very funny that all these people have no problem talking to the princess and asking her for favors. At any rate, let's call it a part here and actually do some proper action later. Oh, and I remember earlier I said there are purple icons on the map. Yeah, those are your other player characters. I completely forgot about that. That's on me. Anyway, it's been Anansi. I will catch you later.